What do you do when you weren't taught basic things as a child and have to learn them as an adult? Well, I can tell you from experience and some of my friends' experiences that not every parent had the time and dedication to teach some of us some basic essentials. Growing up, our parents had other priorities like keeping us alive and doing the best that they could to give us what we had. So I really don't blame them for not teaching us some basic essentials, but that definitely had some significant consequences in my adulthood that has caused me to struggle a lot more than a person who was taught these things at a young age. Three things that I never learned as a child were cooking, cleaning, and self care schedules. As for cooking, I learned how to cook rice in my early 20s, and I learned how to fry an egg in my mid 20s. This isn't something I'm necessarily proud of, but as a consequence to not having learned a cooking skill as a child, when I moved out on my own, I had many nights where cereal and milk was my dinner. A yogurt and a cracker was legitimately a lunch option for me. Girl dinners are real, and they were really real for me in my 20s. And I really enjoyed life not having to cook or prep a sandwich, but it would have been nice for my health to have some sustenance. As for cleaning, cleaning was a really special one that happened to me because I always wanted to have really good organizational and cleaning habits within me. But I was raised in a really messy household that was super relaxed and I had no rules. So those organizational habits were extra hard for me to break past them in my adulthood. As a consequence, I had a lot of nights assigning my self-worth to my mess. I had a lot of arguments about having my messy home with my husband and just overall extreme anxiety and feelings that I was a failure because I couldn't have my things neat and organized. Like it was really exhausting that I didn't have those basic habits integrated in me as an adult. Self-care schedules. Self-care routines were also unheard of for me as a child. Some children should definitely have some basic routines like getting a haircut or trying out new hairstyles, maybe painting their nails every once in a while. And if you live in a household that doesn't have that for you, to this day, I find myself struggling going to a salon or buying new clothes for myself. I prioritize myself last in my laundry list of things to do, and that's not necessarily healthy for my physical health or my emotional health or my mental health. But what I could tell you is that I definitely learned a lot of things by having grown up in an environment like this. It's not how you were brought up, it's what you do about it that matters. Even though I had that experience as a child, I'm responsible for what I have now. You can't really blame your parents because they actually focused on doing more things for you. They focused on showing you important life skills like being a good human and letting you know that you are capable of doing anything that you sent your mind to as long as you work hard and you don't give up. This is also a life lesson because there's really no age gap as to what you can learn. We all live this life one time and we're all experiencing everything at different age levels at different times. So you really can learn things at any age. For example, I was able to learn how to cook, how to clean and organize, and how to have my own self-care routines all in my 20s and 30s. And I still have so much more that I can grow and learn. But what really helped me was when I realized the importance of these skills, I paid attention to them and I stuck to it and I learned and I wasn't embarrassed that I was frying an egg, at 25 for the first time. And I wasn't embarrassed that, I had a messy house. What I did was I focused, I paid attention, and little by little, I was able to gather the habits necessary in order to become a functional adult. So, if you share any of these experiences, like the ones that I shared with you, let me know in the comments below. If you had to learn something in your adulthood later on, I'd love to hear about that.